Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Sydney. I'm going to be your social worker for today. Before we start talking about anything, I do want to talk a little bit about the rules that we're going to develop in the section. Because families, sometimes it can get a little bit, people can talk over each other and things can get a little bit complicated when it comes to communication. Um, so, does anybody have any suggestions about some rules that you want to develop for our session?
I think Daniel needs to work on um, talking a lot more about parenting and putting as much input as I do into this session.
Okay.
You know what, Emily? I hear you. I hear you. I will try to do my best.
Okay.
You say that.
Okay, those are good rules. We can also make some about not interrupting and having respectful conversation. And also that the things that we say in this room are going to stay in this room unless there is somebody that's going to be injured or someone's going to harm themselves, etc. So I just wanted to lay down those rules for you guys. Um, and I wanted to start by asking each family member why you think that you're in this session today. Anybody can go first and no interrupting during this.
Well, I really made it a point for us to come here today because Jacob has been participating in some behaviors that I don't think are helpful for his future. And I feel like I am parenting him on my own. I always have to be the person to administer punishment and to talk to him about it. Daniel just gets off really easy and gets to be the good guy all the time. And that is not going to work for me anymore.
Okay, Emily, and when you say that Jacob is participating in some actions that are not going to be good for his future, what do you mean by that?
He is a good kid, I know that, but he just got into the wrong crowd and, he can be a successful student and athlete, and we really want him to go to college and to have lots of options in the future. And he has just gotten in with this wrong crowd and has started using drugs. I don't know if it's just weed or if it's more serious, but we are aware that he's starting to sell now, and we just really need to get him on the right track.
Okay, so it sounds like you're pretty concerned about his drug use, so we can talk a little bit about that with Jacob in a second. Does anybody else want to go?
I, Emily, my lovely wife, I understand, your thought process is here, but I truly feel like this is something we can just totally work out amongst ourselves. I don't understand why we have to be here. Like, I mean, we're all grown-ups here. I don't know.
That's okay, Daniel. And
Uh-huh.
it's okay to not want to be here and not to think that therapy is what you guys need. I'm glad that you're being honest and I'm open to the experience because you are here. So I want to commend you on that. Ansley, do you want to go?
We're just here to talk about Jacob.
Okay. And Jacob?
I totally agree with my dad. I think my dad actually trusts me, unlike my mom. Um, my mom just doesn't even, she thinks I'm in the wrong crowd. She hasn't really even given my friends a chance. She went through my phone, which was such an invasion of my privacy. And just shows that she doesn't trust me. And so, if we could actually have some trust, then I don't think we would need to be here. And we could, like Dad said, just like handle this on our own and just have some normal conversations about it. But, I definitely think that's an issue that, my own mother won't even, allow me the privacy of my phone.
Well, I
Oh,
was right to not trust you. Look at what I found.
okay. 1 second. I'm going to intervene for a moment and back to Jacob. When you say that you want to develop some trust with your mom, what things do you think you could do on your part to develop some trust with her? And I'm going to ask Emily the same thing in a moment.
I mean, I know that my mom doesn't agree with every decision I've made, but she won't even, see it from my perspective. And she immediately writes off and judges my friends and thinks that I'm in the wrong crowd, but she doesn't even give them a chance. So I mean, it's kind of hard for her to ask me to like change my life, change my friends, change what I want to do, when she won't even give them a chance. So I mean, I don't know how we're gonna establish trust if it doesn't really, it kind of just seems like she judges my life. And I mean, I don't want to be in trouble with the law. And I get that, she's worried about that. But I mean, again, if she would trust me, she wouldn't have to.
Okay, so it sounds like you and your mom need to maybe carve out some time to just be with you and her, and that will give you guys the ability to kind of have some more open communication. And if you feel like um, your privacy is being broken into when she goes on your phone, that's something that you guys need to be able to have open communication about. Emily, do you have anything that you want to say based off of what Jacob just said?
I am absolutely willing to carve out time to spend with him and to improve our relationship. And I understand that he thinks that I haven't given his new crowd the chance, but it comes a lot from, you haven't had them over. I only know about them, based on things you started to do since you've hung out with them. So I think if you want me to be more open-minded, I'm gonna need to see more of them and know more about them.
I mean, the reason
One,
I don't have them over is because I know that you're gonna judge them, and I mean, I don't want them to feel judged.
well, having drugs in the home is non-negotiable for me, but if we can work on meet halfway on you not doing that, then when you have them over, I will try my best to be open-minded.
Okay, and Emily, I think Jacob probably really appreciates that, and you guys just need to be able to create some boundaries. And yeah, so is there anything else that you two want to say? I do want to get also into Ansley and Daniel and see what they're thinking as well.
I'd like to know about what Daniel's thinking.
Okay, Daniel, you have the floor.
So, what I think is that Jacob is a big boy, and I feel like controlling him is not the way to go. I feel like he's just gonna have to learn for himself. Like, it might be the hard way, but he's just got to learn what's right and what's wrong for him. Like, I feel like it's totally up to him. Like, I'm still not totally on board with the whole therapy thing. Like, I think Emily, I think we should just chill a little bit, let Jacob just be him, and yeah, I guess just be as supportive as we can for him, like, along the way. But it's where I'm at with it.
Okay. And Daniel, I do see that you and Emily both want the best for Jacob. So that's a strength that is really important in parenting. I do also want to point out that you guys are differing a little bit with how you want to parent. I know Emily is really frustrated because she feels like she's the good cop, and that makes her and Jacob's relationship a little more complicated. And for you, being the good cop and kind of taking his side sometimes is really frustrating for her. So one thing I am going to suggest is maybe you and Emily have your own session with me or a couples counselor, because those are parenting issues that we don't necessarily need Ansley and Jacob in the room for. So I'm going to suggest that. And then Ansley, do you have anything to say? You've been pretty quiet.
I mean, I just think that right now you're seeing a glimpse of kind of what my life is like. Like, we
Okay.
all had to come to this therapy session, and it's the only topic that's been discussed is Jacob, and that's how it is in the home too. And I think my parents just don't really realize that they're kind of like rewarding his behavior by just constantly giving him the attention and only paying attention to him. Like, I'm a good student. They don't even come to my soccer games anymore because everything is just about Jacob. And so I hope that through this they can recognize the problems with that and how they're handling that situation.
Okay, and I'm really glad that you were honest about that. And something that maybe I'm going to suggest for you and your parents is to carve out some times that's just for you guys. And hopefully, they will be able to make it to your soccer games and have more time with you, because I know they've been pretty preoccupied with Jacob and what's been going on with him. So guys, that is all the time we have for today. I hope that you can take home some of the things that I suggested to do, and I will see you guys next week.